You think you know what that
Why
tiny
exactly
pocket
are the
on your
metal
jeans
rivets
is
placed
for?
at those specific corners?
Right? Loose change, a USB drive, or maybe absolutely nothing. Here's the bad news. You're almost certainly using it wrong.
The
That
truth
fifth
is, the
pocket,
pocket's
barely 2
original
fingers
purpose
wide,
is widely
wasn't created to
misunderstood.
hold random
It
odds
served
and ends.
a very different
It
function
was built as
historically.
armor, and if you look closely,
Why
the
metal
evidence
rivets are
is
placed
still
at those
right
exact
there
corners?
on it. Those small copper rivets at the corners, you see them every day. But have you ever asked yourself, why metal? And why placed exactly at those points? The investigation starts with those little metal dots. In 1873, when Levi Strauss partnered with Jacob Davis, the problem wasn't fashion. The problem was tearing.
See how the
Miners and
copper holds
cowboys
the
stuffed
seam
their
here.
pockets
It
with
won't
all
tear,
sorts of
it won't
things.
tear.
Small stones,
Brilliant, Jacob.
metal tools,
We shall patent this immediately.
thick stacks of coins. Every time they bent down or pulled something heavy, the force concentrated at the two upper corners of the pocket. The stitching bore the stress like a thin rope suspending a sandbag. Imagine hanging a 5-kilogram sack about the weight of a full 5-liter water container using only a thin thread. It won't maybe snap. It will snap. Jacob Davis saw this daily in his tailor shop, and he decided to do something that sounded simple. Hammer metal rivets into the pocket corners. A tiny rivet, just a few millimeters wide, completely changed how force was distributed. Instead of stretching the thread to its limit, the stress spread across the surrounding fabric through the metal fastener. It's like placing a metal plate over a crack to prevent it from spreading further. That wasn't decoration. That was armor. And the small pocket was the place that needed armor most, because it carried the most valuable object, a pocket watch. Pocket watches weren't cheap. A good one could equal several weeks, even a full month of wages. In today's terms, imagine dropping a $1,000 phone into your pocket every single day before heading into a mine shaft. One fall, and it's over. The small pocket sat high near the waistband, where it experienced less impact when sitting or riding a horse. It was narrow so the watch wouldn't swing loosely, and it was reinforced with rivets so it wouldn't tear. Every detail had intention behind it. So what happened when pocket watches disappeared? Here's the twist. Wristwatches rose to dominance in the early 20th century. The original purpose of the small pocket nearly vanished. By normal logic, it should have been removed to save fabric and reduce production costs. That small piece of fabric weighs about 5 grams. Sounds trivial.
So
But
this
if
is
a
the
company
small pocket I was
produces
telling
10
you about,
million pairs
right
of
here on the
jeans per
waistband.
year,
It's perfect for
that's
your
roughly
keys
50
or some
tons of
cash.
fabric. 50 tons, about the weight of more than 30 large SUVs. Saving that much material is no small matter, yet they kept it.
The escapement
Because
wheel,
remove
the
the
heartbeat of
fifth
the watch,
pocket,
oscillates within this
and your
tourbillon,
jeans
a testament to the
immediately
intentional
start to
design
look
behind
like
every
dress
single
pants.
detail.
That tiny detail is a visual signal. It says, this is denim. This is workwear. This is the Wild West. Without it, the front pocket structure looks too clean, too flat.
It's
It's like
essential for the
removing
design
a
aesthetic.
distinctive
It
mole
adds
from a
character.
Adding
famous
complexity,
face.
the cost per unit is simply too
Technically
high for this
reasonable.
detail.
Perhaps we can
But the
simplify the
identity
stitching, but keep the pocket.
disappears. And brands don't sell fabric. They sell identity. But the story doesn't stop there. When the original function faded, the pocket began to be redefined by each generation. In the 1950s, it carried matchbooks and lighters. In the 1990s, it became a discreet spot for condoms. In the early 2000s, people slipped in memory cards, coins, or small keys.
I still
Today,
think this pocket is essential.
some
for
use
the
it for an
design
air
aspect.
tag.
You're right, it completes the look.
A guitar pick, even a wedding ring
Let's
when they
keep it
need to
then.
remove it
Perfect.
temporarily. A 150-year-old design, roughly 54, 750 days in existence, still finding new jobs. Many of our smartphone apps don't survive 5 years. This pocket lived through the American Civil War's aftermath, 2 world wars, the disco era, and now the age of TikTok. If that's not durability, it's hard to define what is. So where's the trick? It's in the assumption that this pocket is useless. In reality, it's doing something far more important, keeping jeans looking like jeans. It's a subtle sleight of hand by the fashion industry. A detail that appears purely functional, but actually preserves identity. You don't buy it because you need it. You buy it because it makes you feel like you're wearing something connected to cowboys and miners. Sometimes we keep old features not because they're necessary, but because they remind us of who we once were or who we imagine ourselves to be. So next time you glance at that tiny pocket, instead of dismissing it as leftover fabric, try seeing it as a piece of 19th century armor still stitched into your clothing. If a detail no wider than 2 fingers can hide more than a century of industrial and cultural history, imagine how many other everyday artifacts around you are still waiting to be examined. Those rivets on the back pockets, for example, were once criticized for scratching horse saddles. And that story might be even more interesting than this one.